Paris, chérie, mon beau Paris, c'est toujours toi que j'aime.
Hello there people, and a warm welcome back to Paris Set Me Free, Paris Photo Tutorials. And here we are, in the middle of Paris. Recognise the island? That's Ile Saint-Louis. There's two islands in Paris. Well, there's more than that actually, but there's two big ones in the middle. Ile de la Cité with the Notre Dame, that big church thing, and then there's this smaller one, cuter one actually. Lovely central road going. Actually, why am I talking about that? That's not where I'm going at all. Right, here we are in the Marais, Saint-Paul. I was on a photo tour and decided to investigate in more detail the Jewish area. It's a funny area actually. Not the Jewish area is funny. The area is funny because it kind of shares its wares between Jews and homosexuals. Possibly Jewish homosexuals for all I know, but anyway, that's beside the point. It's a wonderful area, lovely little windy streets and so on, and let's go and investigate. So you can see we're starting to get into the Jewish area because look at the names of these roads. Look, Rue Marla, Rue des Rosiers, things like that. So we're going to pop down here, try and zoom in. Never quite sure where I'm going to end up. We're going to try, I think what I'm looking for is around about here. Okay, here we are, Rue des Rosiers. Really lovely little area of Paris with the little cute shops and some excellent Jewish restaurants and where are we? Right, I'm a bit lost now. Let me see. I think I have to go down here a little bit to where I'm headed. Okay, look at those cute little streets and everything. Very nice. Yeah, am I getting anywhere near? I'm looking, believe it or not, for a blue door. Ah, there you go. This is the little blue door that Teresa and I saw on our tour. Now, if you go on a bit further, there's a great. This restaurant here is great for what do you call it? Falafel. Which was so we had one of those and we were just standing here. It was a little bit rainy, so we were sort of sheltering and saw this amazing little blue door here. The thing is, I don't think this picture is letting me get face onto it. It's either a bit off to the left or a bit off to the right, you see. So but never mind, because I took a picture of it. There it is. There you see. Kind of strange, isn't it? Don't you think? Have a look at it closely. There's this mega sort of brickwork around it, but inside the brickwork there seems to be a sort of second. The door doesn't fit the door frame. That's the funny thing. Now let's have a look at the first image I took. There it is, seeing it face on. Isn't that strange? I mean, I honestly don't know which came first. The door, the blue door with the bit of the frame and stuff, and then this brickwork afterwards, or whether this brickwork was here. I mean, stonework, I should say, and then they just shoved the door in, you know, into this hole and filled up the gap. So that's the first curiosity, which really intrigued us. And then lo and behold, have a look what's down here. Don't know if you can see that very well, but it's actually a bit of, well, it looks like Hassidic graffiti. It's a couple of heads of what look like Hassidic Jews on this electricity box, which I don't think is kosher. But anyway, there it is. Now, what are we looking at? Let me just go to my photograph. It'll be a bit more fun, won't it? Well, actually, here was the choice. I had this one, was my first one. Then started to take a few more. There was one, you know, trying to get some interaction with the populace and so on. No good just taking a picture of a door. That's not much of a photograph, is it? So don't know what this red person was doing, but that didn't do it for me. Okay, here's another one. You know, trying to get bikes going past, any sort of interaction, because otherwise it's just a picture of a door, and that isn't really what my street photography is about. That would just be an architectural detail, whereas I try to get something going on. Sorry, I can't get this centered here. Anyway, you see what it is. It's I'm going for the angles, and there you can get you've got a good view of those two heads there. Really quite strange with the skull cap and the long hair and so on. I mean, what intrigues me is who would do this. It doesn't look like there's any sort of malice behind it. You know, it doesn't look like it's nasty graffiti. There aren't any hateful messages or any nonsense like that. So I don't know. I just can't imagine Hasidic Jews going around painting graffiti on electricity junction boxes. That's the problem I have with this, and yet. So there it is, a curiosity, and I was just waiting for something a bit better than just this picture, and finally some guy opened the door and went in. So what I've done is I've lost the blue door, which is kind of a shame, but I do have the graffiti there. So this turned into this photograph. You can't see it all because I made it quite square, seemed to fit the format, and if you look at it carefully you'll see that I have in fact played around with it. Look at the angles. Hang on, let me get back there. Hang on, where are we? It's the other one. It's this one. All right, now just have a look at some of the angles of that drain pipe. It's pointing, actually leaning slightly in towards the centre. That's leaning slightly out. This is pretty much straight up, and I made it this. And kind of like it. Love the texture on the drain pipe and so on that I've brought out there. I have played around with the angles a bit, just because I felt that it would be nice to accentuate this crazy doorway, which the door doesn't fit. So I actually made it a little bit larger, if you see what I mean. I made it splay out towards the top. So that's pretty much it. I think I've run out of things to say, have I? Yeah, just a curious photograph of a detail, and these details are the sort of things you find walking around Paris non-stop. I mean, you find them non-stop. You don't have to walk around Paris non-stop, but if you do walk around Paris, you certainly increase your chances. And they're pretty crazy. I mean, you know, there's two things. I've managed to combine, actually, let's say 3 or 4 things in one photograph. Like I said earlier, the door isn't enough. I'm not a photographer of funny doors. There must be more than that if you want to call yourself a street photographer. Perhaps I sound a bit arrogant saying that, but that's how I feel. So I needed some sort of human interaction. You don't always, but I did want it. I've lost the blue door, which is kind of sad, because look, the shape of the blue door would have been exactly the same shape as this little blue rectangle here. I've still got a bit of blue there, and I've also got this thing here, the shape of which, the entry code buttons, the shape of which does echo that down there. I'm kind of struggling actually to justify that as being a worthwhile element of the photograph. I just spotted it, to be honest. Played around with the angle, got the person going in, and what has happened is, because of the lighting, it was quite a blue day. In other words, we were under clouds, it was about to rain. So what happens in those conditions is, a door opens and you've got some very orange light coming out from some sort of incandescent source, like a light bulb or something. And you might have seen in some of my other photographs, I took a photograph of a poster recently, which you might not have seen yet, on the iPhone blog actually, and the poster was bright orange, and the surrounding streets were bright, well, not bright, but dark blue. That's what happens when the sun goes down or comes up, and you've got these two different light sources. One very blue, the cloudy sky. You might not realise it's blue, but that's how it comes out on film, on pixel. And this stuff often comes out as orange. You can play around with your white balance if you want to change that, but I generally feel that the results are pleasing. What's happened is this has come out, the brickwork has come out pretty natural coloured, despite the fact that it was very cloudy. Perhaps it was toned down slightly by the camera. That's maybe the decision the camera made. But what's happened is this slit of light bulb lit light has definitely come out very orange, which contrasts nicely with the blue, I think. Alright, so there it is. A very strange photograph, I think, of one of those weird aspects of Paris from the Marais. I recommend you check it out. Okay, thanks for visiting. Have a look at the blogs, comment, I'd love you to comment, and see you next video. Bye bye.
Depuis que je suis à Paris, le jour et la nuit, je suis gris. J'ai compris la douceur de vivre, je suis fou de joie, je suis ivre. Depuis que je suis à Paris.